Hey guys, how's it going? Ches back again with another episode of Sunderland Career Mode. Now we're coming into this one on the back of a disappointing FA Cup exit in that live come against Chelsea, where we did in fact lose 4-1, but we really don't have time to be down in the dumps about that, because 3 days later we have this game against Dortmund in the semi-final first leg of the Champions League, and it is an extremely strong Dortmund starting 11. The only player you wouldn't associate with Borussia Dortmund would be the goalkeeper Sirigu, who they've signed from PSG in place of Wiedenfeller. But we get a chance here early on. Lucas Pearson breaking down. I tried to square it, keeps got a hand to it, and Adrian, you can see his reaction. I was pretty much doing the same thing in my bedroom as well, sat here, head in hands. How have you missed that? Just get over it, get it down. And unfortunately, that went over the bar. So we're disappointing with that. And then Martin Kelly gives the ball away there, trying to find Craig Gardner. Lovely ball over the top, Lewandowski, but Mignolet thankfully is on hand to make a decent save down low, and we are able to scramble it clear. And then 5 minutes before half time, on the attack again ourselves. Kelly this time does find Gardner, who shrugs off the challenge, gets a shot in, but it is well blocked. So we are going to pick up a corner. It's Christian Teo, I think, who is going to whip it in. The ball is going to come in, quite a lot of power on it. Kouyaté goes up. Great reaction save from Sirigu, but the ball's going to drop to Kurt Zouma, centre back, 20 yards out, smash top corner. That is what we are talking about, boys. Kurt Zouma coming out with an absolute stormer 3 minutes before half time to put us in the hot seat in this first leg. Great finish. Really didn't expect that from him, but with the amount of space in front of him, they just saw bollocks to it, hit it, and it flew into the top corner. So absolutely delighted to go 1-0 up. They had a chance here before we went back in for the half. Gundogan really should have put that on target at the very least, but he skews it wide with his left foot, and that was the last kick of the half. So we go in at half time in control in the first half, despite the players not really being too sure how happy they were with the situation. Martin Kelly and Christian Taylor having a bit of an argument as they walked off the pitch, and I actually had to play quite a few reserve team players in this, or not reserve team players, but rotation players, shall we say, in this game, because of the fact that we had such a strong 11 out against Chelsea in the FA Cup. And they just didn't have time to recover for this game. So to be leading was fantastic for me. I just wanted to get any sort of positive result that we actually could. And Gardner here with a great shot that just whistles past that far post. But like I say, just wanted to pick up any sort of result whatsoever, just not lose, I think, at home, and to be able to keep a clean sheet and keep them off the away goals tally would be vital as well. Mignolet making another one-on-one save down low from Gundogan again, so keeping us in it really. Simon Mignolet making some fantastic saves so far in this one. Larson here finds Piazzon, is going to find the runner Craig Gardner, who's going to smash it, sits up beautifully, and Sirigu gets just the faintest of fingertips to it to push it onto the post to keep us out and keep the scoreline down at 1-0. And I couldn't believe he'd kept that out. The amount of power Craig Gardner has in his shot. But we get a fantastic chance here. Adrian gets the turn on Schmelz on the halfway line. He's got to score. Just compose yourself, finish it. And Sirigu again with another reaction save, frustrating the hell out of me, just like Petr Cech did in that semi-final. But thankfully in this one we are able to take a good positive result from it. We do take a 1-0 lead into the second leg, which will be away in Germany in a week's time. But we come in at the weekend back to the Premier League action. We do have Everton, and considering we are obviously having that second leg in just a few days' time, I started a completely second string side against Everton. So really wasn't sure how this one was going to go, and as you can see on screen, we're sixth in the league, only 3 points away from third in those Champions League spots, but crucially we are sat sixth, so we do need to make sure that we keep picking up some results in the league, even though it's not the priority. I think we've decided that the Champions League has to be the main aim for us this year. But Kevin Morales puts them 1-0 up early on here. Lovely volleyed finish from a gorgeous chip through ball across to him. And we go 1-0 down, which is disappointing, but I just really don't feel very confident with these rotation players. I'm not too sure what it is. They just don't feel as... it's probably morale, to be fair, because they don't get to play that often, but they just don't feel very nice to play with. They don't feel like they play as a team, whereas the starting 11 that we do have, feel they feel like they gel together very nicely, and they play nice, tight possession football. But I think we are missing Adam Yajic as well. It really is a big miss for us, having that creative force up top. But Wickham there goes close, and Ruffier dives across like an absolute cat to claw that one out and manage to bring it into his chest to stop us from getting back in the game. But 1-1, or at 1-1, at half time we go in at 1-0. It isn't 1-1. Ruffier making that save to stop it from going 1-1. But we push into the second half. It's just 5 minutes in, they get a free kick, loft it into into the box. And they do in fact get a penalty for handball there. Nolito rising up with his arm rather than his head, just kind of getting fingertips to it ahead of Magai Gay, I think it is. I'm not really too sure how to pronounce that guy's name. He's got a really confusing name, but Comps misses the pen. Jelavic manages to smash it off the post. It seems to be a recurring theme this year. I'm not really too sure whether any of you guys have had similar circumstances, but the computer seems to miss a hell of a lot of penalties. But they actually take a 2-0 lead here. Fellaini goes to take a shot, actually gets caught as he's going down, and the ball just pings up towards Jelavic, who just reactions, just smashes it in with his head. Just kind of, the technique was fantastic, and the reactions were fantastic. Fellaini goes to scoop it with his left foot, and Jelavic just kind of adjusts his feet, adjusts his body stance, and powers that header right down the middle of the goal to bring it to 2-0. But Nolito, just a few minutes later, gets the turn on the defender and mistimes his tackle, slots the ball under the keeper into the back of the net. 65th minute. So perhaps we have the chance to get back into it. It would be nice to take a point from at least a point from a game against Everton, because they are a decent side, and we get another chance late on here. Connor Wickham's going to break down the right hand side, going to cut back inside, and I thought he's got to score, and that is a horrible effort from Connor Wickham. Not even getting it on target from that situation is extremely bad. So just kind of showing that our strength in depth isn't quite what I thought it was, and we do get a defeat and don't really take anything from that. So that is going to bring this episode to a close, guys. As you can see, Everton were dominant in that one, and to be fair, we deserved to get beaten, but we really do need to step it up in the league if we are going to qualify for the Champions League next year, because hopefully we can qualify for the final, and if we can win it, then that should auto qualify us for next season. But it would be nice to qualify automatically with that league finish. But we are sat 6th, as you can see on screen, now 6 points behind Man United in 3rd, who did win that game at the weekend, and we're still only 2 points away from City, but they do have a game in hand, so hopefully they lose that. If it is against Chelsea, it would be nice if they drew, so we are still within 1 game's touching distance of those Champions League spots. But next time we will come back with a live con for the Champions League semi-final, second leg against Dortmund, obviously 1-0 up going into that 1-0 up. So if we can get an away goal early on, that will put us in good stead to you know, progress through. That is going to be my game plan. I think we're going to go into it. I haven't played it yet as I'm recording this, so I think my game plan is going to be to try and pick up a goal early on, and then not sit back, but be cautious going forward, so we say. But that is going to wrap this one up then, guys. So thank you very much for watching. Please do leave the video a like if you could be so kind. That'd be amazing. You guys have been going absolutely ham with support, as I have said every single video recently. The channel is growing fantastically. We are closing in on 1,200 subs. It'd be great if we can hit that soon. And yeah, that's going to wrap this one up then, guys. So big window is a link to the previous video in this series, and in the little window a link to a random video from earlier on in the week on this channel. So yeah, thank you very much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.